This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Fifth grade students at Zeman Elementary School in Lincoln, Nebraska, recently sent home with a flyer outlining how they should handle bullies. The instructions apparently deemed so ridiculous by parents that the school district quickly issued an apology for the, quote, inaccurate information. What was the inaccurate information? The 9 rules for dealing with bullies. Rule number 3, do not be afraid.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
It's not a problem.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Isn't it the whole point of a bully?
Yeah, let me start at rule number 1. Refuse to get mad.
Okay.
Anger is a feeling that we have toward our enemies, not our buddies. When you get angry, you're treating them like an enemy. Besides, if a bully finds out that they can get you angry, you become their puppet and the bully controls you. I actually agree with that. I'm waiting for Pat to...
To what?
Not to comment on that.
I don't feel strongly about that one way or the other.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not at all?
No.
Not at all.
Not
a guy
at all.
who, kind of understands. I could go the scripture route, but why don't I go the Yoda route? Guy who understands that doesn't feel okay. All right.
Yeah.
Treat person who
about
is
anger. You talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean,
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
I'm just saying.
Is that for the book of Yoda?
Yes, it is the 4th chapter.
Rule number
verse of the book of Yoda.
Rule number 2: treat the person who is mean to you as if they are trying to help you.
How does that work?
Understand that,
Jeffy?
one.
When we're trying to help you with your fatness,
We're trying to help you, Jeffy. That's what we're trying to do.
We're trying to help you.
No matter how insulting or mean they sound, be grateful and think they really care about you. That's the worst
stupid.
advice I've ever heard.
That's just plain stupid.
Wait, so if you fool yourself into believing they care about you while they're abusing you, that's going to help them.
Who wrote these things? Number 3, don't be afraid. Fear is something we feel towards enemies, not buddies. When you're afraid, you're treating a bully like an enemy. If you're afraid, you automatically are putting the bully in the strongest position, and you automatically lose. And since the bully wants to keep winning, they'll continue to do things that make you feel afraid.
Plus,
I actually kind of agree with the last sentence.
in addition to all of that,
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
yes, yes.
Yoda 4-5.
Thank you. That's exactly
Rule
right.
number 4, do not verbally defend yourself.
Don't verbally defend yourself. So you can't verbally or physically, I think, in this thing, defend yourself.
No, you can't, no.
Okay.
There is that thing, though, where, and I understand kind of where they're going there if they're going this way, which is if you sit there and get all pissed off and scream back at someone who's doing this, rarely does that do you any good. Like, I mean, you're more like a better defense system is to sit there and play along with it and make fun of yourself, and
Yeah.
it winds up working out better. Maybe that's what they're going for.
We defend enemies. We defend ourselves from enemies, so we're treating the other person as an enemy, not a friend. They're not a friend.
Yeah.
They are not a friend.
But, Glenn, you're trying to make them a friend.
Why are you? Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
trying to
the
make
for the
them a
love
friend.
of Pete. When one person attacks and the other person is the defender, the attacker is in a stronger position. So the defender is automatically the loser, and we defend. If we defend, we lose. Who wrote this?
Didn't we defend ourselves against the Japanese and the Nazis in
I believe so, and I think we won.
World War II?
Oh, I
really
thought we
sure.
could have taken another path. I mean, I would say what I would do with this is send it directly to Israel. You know what?
Yeah.
You get a couple of
Thank
missiles
you.
that land in your
Thank you.
territory.
Don't get angry.
mad.
Don't get
Except
angry.
to get mad.
Are
Don't
you
defend
claiming, Are you claiming that Israel is surrounded by a bully of some sort?
I certainly, most certainly am not.
Hater.
Am not by any means.
Rule number 5, do not attack. We attack enemies and not friends.
So
see?
this is really
Hey,
the
Israel.
same advice on
Everything.
every
They're
single.
not your friend. If you attack back, I am treating you like the enemy. and the bully will return and treat you like an enemy.
Isn't he doing that
It
already?
takes two people to fight.
No, it doesn't.
So it is the person. It's the person who retaliates or responds that actually starts the fight.
A bully can hit you in the face.
No way.
Yes, that's what it says. It is the person who retaliates or responds that actually starts the fight.
So we started 9/11.
What? Hold on just a second. Hang on just a second. Yes.
So they knocked down our buildings, but since we went and bombed them, that was what started the fight.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I'm just channeling a phrase that I have heard before. Woe unto them that teach that evil is good and good is evil.
Oh, it's a book of Yoda. I know. It's what is that? 6:12.
Somewhere in
Yoda
there.
6:12.
Yeah.
Rule number 6: if someone physically hurts them, just show you are hurt, but do not get angry.
Nothing shuts a bully down by more than just showing that they're winning. Really,
If you start crying, then
If
that's
someone
a good
hurts you, you need to feel sorry and apologize. You want them to be sorry and apologize. If you get angry, they won't feel sorry.
Exactly. So you just curl up in a ball and cry. And I think curling up in a ball is too much because that's protecting yourself. I think you should sit there and kind of sprawl out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Rule number 7 in the woe unto thee that teaches good is evil and evil is good.
Yoda 6:12.
Rule number 7, don't tell on bullies. The number one reason bullies hate their victims is because their victims tell on them.
If they didn't bully people, they wouldn't be told on in the first place. So how did all this get started?
Wait. This is great. Listen to this advice because it violates rule number 6 and 7. Telling on a bully makes the bully want to retaliate.
Yeah, but
I thought the one that
you're not supposed to retaliate. So why is he retaliating?
The one who retaliates is the one who actually started the fight. I learned that in rule number 5. Tell an adult only when real injury or crime, theft of something valuable has occurred. Would we keep our friends if we tattled on them?
Again, the bully's not your friend.
Who wrote this? Rule number 8.
You know, there's some bullying association, like the actual representatives of the bullies. And they're just like, this is what we need in schools.
Bully unions. I'm in bully union 115.
Bully unions, a little bit redundant.
Number 8. Number 8. Don't be a sore loser. No one likes a sore loser. Would you play a game with somebody who gets all upset when they lose? Lose gracefully and be a good sport.
Please say
Kids will like you better.
Please tell me it was lose gracefully and not gratefully.
Oh, yeah, it is gracefully. Sorry.
Okay.
But in today's world, it could be.
Thank you so much for kicking my ass.
Rule number 9. I'm sorry, this is so compressed, and it's like a mimeograph. It's not even a good shot of it. It actually smells like a mimeograph. Rule number 9: learn to laugh at yourself and not get hooked by put downs. Make a joke out of it. For example, if you think I'm ugly, you should see my sister.
I do think this is a successful tactic.
That is. It does work.
It actually does work.
That's the only decent advice given in the whole thing. If you can pull it off. It might piss them off even more, and they might just keep smashing you in the face. But if you can pull it off, it does work.
I don't think that works with actual bullies. It works with people that, like, it's what Jeffy does. We call him the worst person on earth, and then he convinces us he's actually worse than we thought. I mean, that's the way to disarm that. Of course, we keep doing it, but it's still the way to disarm it.
That's why we talk about our fatness all the time, so that people won't bully us by calling us fat when they see us on TV.
You guys are the ugliest
we already
people on
disarmed
TV.
you, okay?
Yeah, it's like
we
we're
already
the
said
ugliest, fattest people
right.
you've ever seen in your life.
So we already said that.
This is seriously. I learned this when I was 13 years old and being radio because everybody would always go, "Oh, you don't look
Anything like you sound.
Anything like you sound. So I realized if I just say, "Oh, I'm a horrible Gila monster," people always, instead of saying that, they always are like,
"Oh, you're not as bad as you
say." And you're like, yes.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, you're kind of like Tom Cruise because they have been thinking you're Phantom of the Opera the whole time.
Yep.
So it's like, you know what? You're not as bad.
And to show our dedication to our audience, we've worked hard over several decades to make ourselves look worse and worse.
So that we're telling the truth on the
So
air.
they start to match up.
Yeah.
My goal is to have people start to say, wow, you're exactly like I pictured.
See, I'm truthful to the audience.
That's right. I ain't lying to you, baby, when I said I'm an ugly Gila monster. Wow. Look away, children. Look away. So after seeing a parent's reaction to the flyer, Lincoln Public Schools issued an apology on its Facebook page. As noted in the embedded Facebook post above, the school linked to another worksheet on bullying.
I mean, that's as dumb a worksheet as I've ever seen.
Seriously, it is not. One of the comments on the Facebook page is, sorry, this is not a learning opportunity. This is a show of complete incompetence. 1970 called. They want their flyer back. This is just this. Honestly, this would make me question everything.
Yeah, do you want your kids going to this school?
No, I mean, because somebody, it's not like it's like, hey, who left this joke sheet in the copy machine and somebody accidentally hit print and then it all flew into the hands of the children. How many people's hands did this have to go through? How many people who printed it, who folded it, who brought it to the teachers? How many teachers looked at it and said, okay, kids, and you have to have how many hands did this go through before it got to the students? And nobody said anything?
Yeah, pretty hard to believe. The one that's the most amazing to me is that if you retaliate, you started it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What is that NFL football rule? Because the guy who retaliates is always the one caught by the referee. Is that that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That makes any sense with this is maybe the teacher sees you retaliate and so you get in trouble. How can you not be able to defend yourself? That's not starting it.
I like
That's crazy.
They're examples of the comebacks. So if someone says to you, hey, you're ugly, and you said, as you brought up, if you think I'm ugly, you should see my sister.
Which is you're making fun of it. I don't want to. I mean,
it's
honestly,
hurting your family.
It's hurting your family.
Yes.
I'm currently at home trying to teach my children how to respect each other and that you only have family left in the end. I got news for you, kids. In the end, we're all you've got.
Yeah, and it goes on.
That's why you should say, instead of your sister, if you think I'm bad, you should see my fat, dumpy, stupid mom.
Well, no,
I mean,
you're joking.
That old
It says it about the dad.
You're joking. The last one is, if you think I look like a nerd, you should see my dad.
My gosh.
You're teaching.
That is unbelievable.
You're coming after dads? Now, if I say that to my kid, I'm fine with that. If I go to Rafe and I say, Rafe, just say this. You think I'm bad? You just see my dad. That's one thing, because that's dad saying it's okay in this particular situation to say that. But I don't even know if that's okay. I don't. We as a society take down, especially dads, all the time.
Yeah.
Can we just? I mean, being a dad is not an easy job. I know. Being a mom, blah 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 blah. Women, mom. I got it.
I don't think you actually believe.
Well, I don't, but I kind of do. I mean, I don't want to denigrate moms or women or anything like that. But can we as a society? I mean, how many of us have gone on Father's Day? We go to church or whatever on Father's Day. On Mother's Day, the world stops. On Father's Day, it's like, Dad, pass the bread. I know. Happy Father's Day. I mean, really, we get no respect at all. Our society and our culture it used to be father knows best. Now it's like, Dad who?
That's true. I mean, in comparison to mothers, of course, mothers are get the she's never, Ann Romney's never worked a day in her life treatment too. So I do obviously understand that.
I know
it's
that.
nice to stand up for both, but you're right. No one stands up for dads.
No one stands up for dads. Can we stop bashing dads and stop bashing men? You know, there's a problem in our society. Men do not behave like men because we don't ever expect them to. We don't ever expect them to be chivalrous. We never expect them to be decent. We never expect them to be smart. Why would anybody grow up to be smart? Look at the way men are always portrayed in everything. Why would we expect them to have honor? Look at the way that they're portrayed. They're never portrayed in a way that makes you say, I want to be that man. I want to be that guy. There's no heroes anymore. Even in sports and everything else, there's no heroes. Let's stop. What do you say? We stop bashing men. For the love of Pete. And if somebody says that, if my school said, my grandmother was from Nebraska. Nebraska. You want my grandmother to come back and punch you in the face? What has happened to Nebraska? How could this possibly happen?
We should ask our 2 senatorial candidates from Nebraska today.
Oh my
about
gosh, we
this
do have them on, don't we?
Yeah, we have 2 of them today. Ben Sass and Shane Osborne are on with us. We should ask both of them. I'd like to see their reaction to this.
Which one are we for?
I think they're both good, actually. I mean,
they're both good. Supposedly, there's some tie-in with Osborne to McConnell and his group. We can ask him about that and see, because we liked him a lot when we talked to him.
We liked him a lot, but I also like Ben Sass.
But we liked them both.
Our doctor has been a Ben Sass guy, and he's the one who said to me, "You got to have Ben Sass on." Because we had Shane Osborne on. And he said, you got to have Ben Sass on. He's great. So we did, thanks to Grant Beckham, doctor. And I expect him to now say doctor. But
get free medical treatments out of that? I mean, what is the... free packs of bag of pills.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So the first candidate that answers, "Do you think I'm bad? You should see Massachusetts win."
Yes.
Isn't that the government strategy? Isn't that the president's strategy? Yeah. Well, unemployment, at least it's not 4.1. Here's our sponsor. It's AMAC. You think